Hello, this is a quick video going over the research process for the Unit 4 portfolio assignment for American Government class, the Memo to the President assignment. So I want to go over a couple places you can go for information, and one of them might just surprise you. The teacher is telling you to go to this site. First, let's look at the ones that are linked within your Pearson online classroom here. Okay, so this is a student homepage. It's a demo student who apparently they really need to check their webmails. Marcy, let's go before violin practice. But you go to your links tab here on your homepage, and you got a couple sources here: EBSCO Explora and EBSCO Research Databases, and these are good places to go to find trusted sources of information for the topics that you pick. Okay, I would advise just go to this one. Don't worry about this one. It's a little harder to use, more complicated. It's something you can look around. If you're going to go to college, you'll probably need to be able to use that, but I would stick with Explora. Okay, so that will take you to a way that you can look for sources of information. Unfortunately, you cannot do your project on Stephen Curry. But if you're looking for a certain topic, like let's say you pick the war in Ukraine as your subject matter for the crisis, you're going to find lots of sources for this one. So what you want to do for that is look for different articles then that are going to talk about this war in Ukraine to get you so you learn more about what's going on in this crisis. That is going to help to you to complete the rest of the assignment. What started it? How are people being impacted by it? What's something the president can do to help? Those are kind of the frame that you want to look through it. But you can see there's a lot of articles that you can get to here. Okay, you can, if you want to save some of them to folders. I don't know how long that carries over though, but you can get to the full texts of these things by clicking these buttons here. Okay, and then you can also cite it with using those three dots. So if you click on citation, then just pick APA style right here near the top and copy to clipboard. So when you're trying to get your citations to put in the PowerPoint, you can just copy that like that, and then you can go here and click Control V and boom, got your sources in there. Now only do this for the articles you're actually reading and researching, so you don't want to add these in until it's the ones you're definitely looking at, but that's an easy way to cite things. That's the three dots there, and the full article would be here. Okay. So this is the way you could read the article, take notes, and then cite it. So that's one method. That is the EBSCO Explora site. Okay. And if you're having trouble finding articles about your topic, you can try different search terms, like maybe you should specify 2022 to make sure you're getting information from a most recent war. But here's like a topic overview that you could look at to get more information about that. And then those little quotation marks will let you cite that source. So a good source of information and a good way to get an overview of what's going on so you can actually complete your assignment. Okay, so that's within Pearson Online Classroom. Once again, it is links, and then Explora secondary is the source there. Okay, the other one, and this is something that maybe teachers in the past have told you, don't use Wikipedia. Wikipedia, for the most part, can be a pretty good start for research and can be a reliable source of information. You just need to understand that you need to cross-check some things. It shouldn't be your only source of information. So we got War in Ukraine 2022, and you got the Russian invasion of Ukraine. You can also look up specifically war crimes committed by Russia in this conflict. Just note, I mean, you might see some disturbing imagery with some of these crises, but there's a ton of information on here. So what I want to highlight though is a lot of these things, then you can check their sources of information. So if you read through this, you could use this as a really good starting point for a ton of information about this conflict. Okay, and over here, you can get to different aspects of it. Okay, so you could go to the impacts of the war. And if you wanted to focus on, for this assignment, this would probably be where I would look, the humanitarian impact, because our project is all about the humanitarian crises that are going on. We're not talking about telling the president to go start a war. It's about how can we help people impacted by a crisis. Okay, so this would be a perfect section to read as one of your sources. And all of these numbers here are citations of other actual real articles or reports where they're getting that information. So you can double check, where did they get this? And you can click on these to go to them. Okay, so this is really a great tool for research. You just have to be careful about reading articles about like very famous people or people that are in an upcoming election. There's probably lots of people trying to edit this article to make it say certain things. So you want to stick with these more established articles that are really long, that have a ton of citations. Those are usually pretty safe things to use for that. Okay. And then you could just go up and you would have your URL up there to cite your sources that way as well. Okay. So if you're using that article and you need to be, citing your sources and everything in there, you can do that. And you just cite the page that way. Okay. So that's the tools and citations. Almost all of these research websites now have an easy way for you to cite your sources, because it's important to show where you got your information. So we are saying for this assignment, it's okay to use Wikipedia as long as you're using a trusted article and you've kind of double checked it with a couple other sources so that you have 3 total that you need for the project. Okay. If you go outside of Wikipedia and outside of Explorer, you can try to find trusted sources, but I think this is the easier way to go to narrow it down. Okay. If you do need to cite something and you can't find that citation button, there is a website called MyBib that is linked on the PowerPoint as well. It's linked right there. So hit Control key on your keyboard and then you can click that link in a PowerPoint. And that is this site here. And that's if you want to add a citation and you can enter it manually. You just give as much information as you can find on who wrote it, what's the title, what's the URL, when did you look at it. You could just hit today if you looked at the article today. You put that all in there, and I'm just going to give an example. This would be Jane Doe, I guess, doing this, and give it as much information as you can, hit save, and it's going to give you this citation for an article, and it'll put it all in the right format. So what you want to do there after you check it is you click there to copy the entry, and then just hit Control V when you want to paste it somewhere. There we go. So that's how you copy from MyBib. So again, hopefully this has helped you with how do I cite my sources, how do I research, how do I do step 2 of this project. So we've got this video here. It'll be linked on the PowerPoint. It'll be linked on the lesson intro page. Lots of places to get it. If you still need help, though, finding sources of information, what should you always do next? So call your teachers. We are here to help. Good luck on the assignment.